we're kind of an early warning signal perhaps, and I don't think we're that early because there's signals all over the planet right now and things are going on that are not normal from a climate point of view.
Hi, I'm Chris Garner of the St. Paul, Minnesota Foundation, here with another episode of Corner Conversations. Today we're here at the Marcell Experimental Forest with scientist Dr. Randy Kolka to learn more about the Spruce experiment.
We're on the Marcell Experimental Forest right now. It's one of our long-term research stations in the Forest Service. And we've been looking at these peatland ecosystems here since 1960. And that led to the development of this really neat large climate change experiment, the biggest one on the globe, the Spruce experiment. Spruce stands for Spruce and Peatland Responses Under Changing Environments experiment. And we built these giant enclosures to have the ecosystem experience what we might expect in a future climate. And we have a whole bunch of different climates that we're exposing them to. And that's what Spruce is really looking at, is trying to figure out at what temperatures do we have these points where we might be going over the edge, tipping points to some degree. But the other goal is to really help to feed information into the models that predict our future climate. There wasn't a good modeling environment that included these wetland ecosystems, although they're really important from a climate change perspective because of the amount of carbon they store. We're really helping feed these models that are going to predict our future climate both locally, nationally, and internationally. So in these ecosystems, we call them bogs, bog peatlands. They're very inundated with water, and they have a very low pH environment. They're very acid. A couple of the trees that can handle that are black spruce and eastern larch, also known as tamarack. But they're not performing as well with warming as maybe some of the other plant communities are out here, including the shrub community, which seems to be taking off and proliferating as a result of warming, which in a sense is really hampering the sphagnum moss's ability to survive, which is the real critical component of these ecosystems because they're the plant that has created all the carbon that we're standing on right here, the 10-12 feet of carbon we're standing on. That proliferation of shrubs is really causing a situation where we're not gaining carbon anymore, we're losing carbon in these ecosystems. And there's not a lot of potential to reverse it because we're losing the carbon gaining moss in the process. So it's a double whammy. We're losing two things at once that's both negative as far as what we can expect for our climate changing. It's very common at the end of a tour or a group and someone will say, where can we help? How can we help? How can we contribute? And we don't have a mechanism as a federal agency to accept anything like that because it's your tax dollars that are paying for this. But I think it would be neat to have a mechanism by which we could help the long-term vitality of this place to make sure we have that long-term stable funding that'll allow us to go another 63 years here and help out our grandchildren and their grandchildren in the future.